Hello, gorgeous people of BookTube. Welcome back to my channel. As you would have already guessed from the title, today I will be reacting to 1-star reviews of my favorite books that I have rated on Goodreads. And mind you, I have not rated all the books that I have read on Goodreads because I joined Goodreads in October of 2020. I have my laptop here. Hence, I will be reading only the 1-star reviews of the books that I have rated 5 stars on Goodreads. I think I want to make this video like ranging from the least favorite from my favorites to the most favorite from my favorites. Let me begin with a Jennifer Niven novel. Now, I have All the Bright Places and Breathless. These two are the only novels that I have read and I have rated both of them 5 stars, but for today's video I will pick Breathless because I want to show off something. I picked Breathless for a reason, because I wanted to show you all this. This is a signed copy of Breathless. Yes, I won this in a giveaway and it has been sent to me by Jennifer Niven, so thank you so much. I don't own signed copies of any books, so this is a first for me and I'm so glad that I have it. Now I have 2 copies of now I have 2 copies of the book and okay, I'll just shut up. Now I will not be blurring any names because you deserve credit and I'm not shaming anyone for their opinions, of course. I just want to know the other side of the spectrum. So Breathless, according to Goodreads, has 3.89 average rating. I am ashamed of myself for being excited about this book. Jennifer Niven was my favorite author and All the Bright Places is one of my favorite YA novels. Coming to Breathless, this was a DNF. A few pages in, I began to hate it. I know hate is a strong word and I shouldn't use it, but still I have to come outright and say the main character was just too much. I hated everything about her too. Please do not read this book. I wouldn't say I disagree, but okay. Yeah, Claude could be a little irritating at times. Yes, I do agree a little. Oh my god, I couldn't finish this book at all. It was so boring and the author just wrote about sex and how sex makes girls more confident. That's a lie, by the way. Characters were unlikable AF and Claude was too dramatic. Plus, she fell in love with every boy in this book. The plot was non-existent. LOL, just some boring stuff and a lot of cheap instant love. I'm disappointed because I really enjoyed All the Bright Places, but this book was just ew. Okay, this review does make a little sense to me, sex makes girls more confident. This was an underlying theme in the book and now that I'm reading it out loud from someone else's review, yes, I do agree with that. It was kind of not needed. The review below this one is sums up everyone's emotions when they don't like a book. Now let me navigate my way back to some other book. Okay, I will go for Looking for Alaska next. I absolutely adore John Green's work, Looking for Alaska. I literally say that in every single video of mine. Maybe not every, but every once in a while I do say it. So you definitely know that I do like Looking for Alaska. Looking for Alaska by John Green has 4.01 average rating on Goodreads. Now let me navigate my way to 1-star ratings, which is 2% of all of the community reviews. My first boyfriend was obsessed with Looking for Alaska and anything John Green, and that should have rung alarm bells in my head, but unfortunately I was as dumb and stupid as this book. Okay, that's funny. In the fact that it had no direction or purpose, but I liked the second half when it finally started to pick up, but I hate how we didn't get a solid ending. I just want to know what happened. Okay, but that's the thing about open endings, right? Like, open endings are supposed to be for the readers to figure out what really happened. Okay. This review is very much filled with a lot of emotions. I really do want to read it. It's long, but I will read it. 1 star because I'm generous. Okay. What was this? This was a book. I thought books were supposed to make me relaxed. This book makes me want to scream at everyone who told me to read this. The before part, meh. The after part, pukes. No, I don't see what all this hype is about. I mean, people are crazy about this book. The main lead, Alaska itself, was so stupid. She did nothing but smoke and drink, and then she dies because she drives drunk, and that is such a crisis. Her friends turn the world upside down, figuring out if Alaska's death was a suicide or accident. I know, this book is so realistic. And the worst part is, They don't even tell if it's a suicide or accident. Why am I dramatizing this whole review? But I will do it. You know what? Let's leave her dead. Hello? The whole plot is based on this girl's death and they don't even give us a clear picture of it. Brilliant. Just don't read this book. Don't. I did like The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, but then I found out that he stole majority of the good stuff from Zelda's journal. Zelda was his wife, and yeah, not cute, Scotty, not cute. But as a book, I do like it a lot. Whoever wrote it, I don't care at this point, they are dead. Everyone writes such long reviews on Goodreads, but so do I. Talk about hypocrisy. I will just read like the first part of every review. I just don't get the hype on this one. Then again, I guess there's a reason why this book was unpopular and forgotten for the first 20-30 years after it was published. Personally, it makes no difference to me that this is supposed to be an important literary novel, as I like to make those conclusions for myself rather than going with the masses just because it's for the masses. I don't quite agree. It's not an important literary novel because it's like something very different and it has hard English. Of course, it does not have hard English, and that's like a plus point for the novel. But I think it is important because of the underlying themes that it has, like about American dream not being true, being far-fetched, and there were a lot of why is my neighbor jumping? Okay, anyways, what I was saying is that it had a lot of metaphors and it had a lot of quotes, obviously stolen from Zelda's journals, but yeah, it did have a lot of good things. I will not be reading any further one-star reviews of The Great Gatsby because it's just people trying to be quirky here. I mean, not all of them, some of them. So like there's no point in reading these reviews. I'll just switch to some other book. Now we are getting into some nicer stuff. We will be reading the one-star reviews of Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Now, I really cannot imagine anyone giving it 1 star. John Green, who? This is an Emperor's New Clothes situation for me. I know everybody says that they see the beauty and splendor, but I have to be honest and say the guy is fucking naked, and this book is about as deep as a puddle. About the depth of the novel, yes, I can agree. It's not as deep as people deem it to be, but why the F did everyone cry? I didn't cry, and I cry at everything. I also cry at everything, but I did cry. Dante deserves the world. Okay, maybe Aristotle is a little useless. No, he's not useless. He's very much like people I know, like people like me. Listen, we are awkward people, okay? I know where Aristotle is coming from, and Dante does deserve the world, but so does Aristotle. Let's do this book next. This absolutely beautiful novel I read recently. The Sun is Also a Star. We have a 1.5 star review for this now. Where are those fans of the book? Why haven't you attacked me yet? Let me hear you scream. Probably because people like me who have rated this 5 stars are not hostile and they respect your opinion just like I respect yours. When I started this book, I already knew that the premise was insta love. The question is, why did I even took the risk? Okay, I'm not going to correct the grammar. I was excited for this book, I won't lie. However, the characters are so bland. I understand the point is that they're both immigrants of such, but I just didn't like either Daniel or Natasha. I'm not even able to do a full review full of quotes because nothing was wrong with the writing. This just wasn't a book that interested me. I may go back to it one day though. Now this is a review I have absolutely no issues with. Like, why would I have issues with a review? I'm not the author. But yes, I do hold this book close to my heart now. As this review already said, the writing of this book is absolutely brilliant. Nobody can complain about it. No. But yes, I do understand why the plot would not be for certain people. The last book for today would be The Hunger Games, which I finished yesterday. or day before yesterday. I don't have memory of anything. My days are just blending together with me being on Twitter all the time and shit posting there. And honestly, book Twitter reminds me of the Hunger Games a lot. Everyone on book Twitter is so hostile. They are so offended by everything. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be offended. Of course, they should be offended by authors who just generalize everything. And I like that for book Twitter, which I don't get to see on Bookstagram. Now, this is why I shifted over to book Twitter. But a lot of accounts on book Twitter with huge following, they just, I don't know, they're just very hostile and they attack literally everyone for their opinions, and it's just too much at times. The Hunger Games, of course, has 4.32 average rating. Now I will navigate my way to 1-star ratings. I don't think I'm ready for this. I hold this whole franchise close to my heart ever since I watched the movies. Yes, I did watch the movies before reading the book. I'm so sorry. I am now stupider from reading this. This book was a huge disappointment to me. Never expected it to be that bad. A story about 24 kids under 18 fighting and killing each other because of an evil government, capital, or whatever. Collins never explained why. There's no one real reason why they should kill each other. The worst thing about this book that it's just a copy from many books, especially Battle Royale, also a bit from Harry Potter and Twilight. Harry Potter and Twilight? I don't see the resemblance. What part of the Hunger Games reminds anyone of Harry Potter and Twilight? I am very interested in knowing why. After the first 10 pages, I almost put this book down. The amount of terrible writing fit into those 10 pages is absolutely phenomenal. It could have been written by a 10-year-old. It seemed that every sentence began with an "and." And my dad died, and it was really sad, and I was a little girl, and my mommy must have loved my daddy very much. There was no emotion, no character development, and no surprises. I seriously felt that this was the worst book I have ever read. Period. There's more. Fortunately, I was reading this at the beach and therefore was able to shut off the part of my brain that could actually think. Once I did that, it was smooth sailing. If I were thinking, this book probably would have insulted my intelligence. However, I'm still puzzled by the fact that everyone seems to like these books. This book felt so generic. I felt like I was at a pharmacy. Pharmacy. That is an interesting comparison. I never thought of reading a book being compared to the experience that you have in a pharmacy. What did everyone like so much about this book? The good writing? Nope. The good character development? Nope. The predictable plot lines? Nope. Why does everyone like this book? That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video, which will be I don't know when. Till then, you can follow me on my social media. The link will be in the description below, and bye.